Good evening, everybody. I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry if it's a little loud and windy in here. I'm going to try and take care of that. This one, I'm sure all of my two regular viewers, hey Kat, are going to watch this, and I appreciate you. Appreciate you very much. It's nice to know that I'm not alone in how I think, and that other people have the same passion for freedom and for sovereignty as I do. I appreciate that. However, this video is specifically directed to all of those who don't share my outlook. And it's taken me a long time to understand how you could not share my outlook on police and on government and the overreach thereof. But I think I pinpointed it. It's not a problem. It's not something that you're lacking. It's something that it is, but you're not lacking it. I've been abused to no end by the government and the police. My entire adult life, I have been abused by them. So I am coming from a very biased point, but at least I used to be. Now I have explored both sides of what I think. First of all, I think that our government is tyrannical, and that we have very little time left with which to stop this government, because everything that they're doing right now is an effort to remove your rights from you and to remove your sovereignty and, to a large extent, remove your humanity. And I see that as a very large problem, and I'm astounded that I look around to the public and nobody seems to have a problem with that. In fact, some actually cry for it and promote rights being revoked. And no, you never had the right to get an abortion. That's asinine. So don't even come at me with that, okay? You've never had the right to take another human life. And yes, a human in the fetal stages of development is still a human, and thus a life, and thus it's murder, and thus you have no right to do so. Anyway, that aside, I want to know, honestly, why do you think that you can trust the government? Why do you trust the government? What do they do to benefit you? And I want you to think about, is it just thoughts and ideas that you are citing, or is it actual physical benefit? Because you could say all day long, well, you know, the police keep me safe. But do they? Or are you just safe? Because police don't keep you safe. Police file reports after you've been victimized. That's what they do. And I will once again cite Uvalde, Texas, as a supreme example of this. How many police officers were present and unwilling, with all of their firepower, to engage one gunman victimizing children? So do police protect you? I don't think they do. Let's go to my next example, NASA. What do they do for you? What in your daily life has benefited from NASA? Sure, the inventions of certain technologies have been facilitated by the need of NASA. However, the problem with that is, for the most part, in fact, I think all of those inventions were created by independent businesses, not by NASA. So that means that the ability was always there, just not the need. And I bet you the only thing that you can cite that they have contributed to your daily life is Tang, something that isn't even in your daily life. So, what has NASA done for you? Okay, now let's move on to the CIA. What have they done for you? They have prevented us from getting back on the gold standard. They did that by assassinating Kennedy. So the CIA will assassinate anybody who goes against the government, or I mean like any politician who goes against the government. Not any. I'm sure they let some slide, obviously. But either way, they got to Kennedy. Okay, so what does the CIA do for you? And how much money do they take from you? Think about that. And I don't want just words, I want real examples. Now let's go to the DEA. What do they do for you? Not what do they say they do, what have they done for you? Because you pay for them. I pay for them. Everybody pays for them. Okay? And tell me why, if we have a Drug Enforcement Administration, why is it that Portland, Oregon, San Francisco, Washington, D.C. to a large extent, Pennsylvania, like Pittsburgh area, Pennsylvania, let's see, Washington State, predominantly Seattle, Chicago, Detroit, Los Angeles. Why are all these places nearly uninhabitable due to the sheer number of drug addicts? How much money is the DEA taking from you? And what are they doing for you? Clearly not their jobs. Okay, now let's move on to the executive branch. What has the president done for you? Every single promise that these candidates make, they break. Why do you keep doing the same thing and voting in the same people that prove time and time again that they will not have any regard for promises they made to you? And then they took an oath. See, all of these people took an oath to protect you and your rights. Yet they are doing the opposite. They come and victimize the common man because that common man has no money for an attorney. All they care about are arrests and convictions. That's what they care about. It's a numbers game. Police do not have the obligation or the duty to protect you. Protect and serve is a slogan. That's all it is. See, that's my point. Are these just words, or is the government actually doing something to help you? And if it is just words, why don't you expect them to do something for you? And if they won't do something for you, why do you pay them to do that thing? And why at every turn and every chance do you get to defend, do you choose to defend the side of the argument that the government has told you to defend? Why is it? Do you have a logical reason? Or is it just out of sheer habit and fear? I believe it's the latter. And I believe you know it too. But I'm asking you right now, please confront that. Dude, we are at the precipice of a change which we are not going to be able to stop. And here's the thing. You know, every time they talk about going against the government, they act like it's got to be some act of violence, but that is not the case. You just need to stop. All you need to do is literally nothing. Stop doing what you've been doing to help them. They feed off of you. Did you know that you're not even obligated to pay income tax? I bet you don't know that. I know most of you don't know that, and I know most of you are viewed as nothing besides tax cattle to the government, because I know that you keep just paying your dues like a good little slave. Dude, you might have been told in school that, and by your family, that this is a normal way to live, but it's not. It's not, and you need to see that. At least your parents had it more normal. You know, they had actual money. Your money that you use every day is literally nothing. I know I've harped on this in my previous videos, but I think it's worth repeating. It is literally nothing. Your police will break the law just to get an arrest, and they don't care if it's you or your neighbor. And then when you try and hold them to the law, it's disregarded. They don't care to follow it. Dude, this is not a left versus right issue. This is a class issue. And we're dealing with a class of people that truly think that they are better than us. They steal our money. Do you know how much money NASA made as of 2021? Every year, $63.8 million a day. What have they done for any of us that is worth $63 million per day? They're up in, they're up in the upper atmosphere playing games. That's what you get to see them doing, by the way. Every time there's a live stream from the so-called space station, they're playing games, and you pay them $63.8 million a day to play games. What have they done? Everything they try fails. What on earth, literally, what on earth, how on earth do you benefit from a robot trekking around Mars? What does that do for you, your children, or your grandchildren? If the answer is nothing, then stop funding it. Okay, you can't vote this away, though. You just need to take action. And you know what? It's permissible. You are allowed to take action. And that action needs to be put your money where your mouth is, okay, and stop paying these people to steal from you and to lie to you and to treat you like fools. You people you're defending a class of people that mock you. I think that's worth repeating, okay? The people that you support and you defend and you pay, they hate you and they mock you, okay? And I can prove that. It might not be open ha-ha-ha mocking, but what it is government spokespeople putting on a mask right before walking up to a podium just so they can show you taking that mask off like a good little boy. That's mockery. They think you're dumb. And you know what? You prove them 100% correct. Because you believe everything that comes out of their mouth as long as it's your side. But you know what? So does the other side. Because both sides each think that their side is the correct side. What if neither of them is correct? I mean, chances are if one side is corrupt, then the other one is too. Just logically. Do you think that one corrupt side would actually give up power to a non-corrupt side? I want you to think about that. You lefties, Trump was in office, and you said it yourself. Oh, he's not going to give up the presidency, but he did. You know why? It was to make you think that you were winning. As long as it changes in favor of what half of the people think they need, then you still think there's perpetual progress. And you're only around, and you only matter for a good 60 to 70 years. I mean, let's face it, for the first 20, you're basically shitting in your pants still. So it's really not that hard. How many, that's you know, you get 4 presidents. No, more than that. That was dumb. I don't know how many you get. I'm tired. Been a long day. But you get very few presidents. All it takes is a few sleights of hand, you know, and you think you're winning again. You think that things are going to change for the better. Dude, they're manipulating you. They're organized crime. What helped me see the truth and see through the facade of professional authority was comparing them to organized crime. Compare them to the mafia. That's what they are. They're the mafia. They make you pay to play, allegedly for your protection, and then they attack you and say, well, hey, you shouldn't have disobeyed. I mean, this is ridiculous, guys. I'm glad that more and more people every day are waking up, but, you know, it really shouldn't take as much as it does. It shouldn't take, like, abuse. You should be able to look around you and see it happening to your brothers and your sisters. And that should be enough to tell you that something's wrong. And that regardless how many presidents you see, regardless of that, I guess you get about 12 presidents, right? Anyway, that's been bugging me. But, yeah. Regardless of how many presidents there are, the police stay the same or only get worse. And the president doesn't have anything to do with you. Okay? People put so much importance on who the president is going to be. He's not supposed to have anything to do with you. His job is to keep the states in check and to handle monetary and international affairs. That's their job. And by states, I mean the governments of the states. Yet, you guys vote for these presidents like there's some kind of fucking celebrity death match. It's really silly. It's very childish. You know, all this campaign hoopla. What is it? What are you doing? Come on. What are you doing? Stop for a second. I know they've got you so busy and so freaking out and so stressed that it's impossible to see beyond your own nose, but do it, okay? Stop. Think for a second. Realize you're getting robbed and getting gaslighted by a criminal organization. You got to realize that. Just let it sink into your heart. And if you haven't felt the stress of it, and if you haven't felt the toll that it's taking on people, then look around. You're lucky. But people are dying. People are literally getting murdered by this organization that you call authorities. What makes them authoritative other than their monopoly on force? What is it? Do they support anything that you agree with? Truly? Are they in bed with corporations? Dude, they just keep you buying, and dying. And sick until you die. So that you have to keep buying medical treatment. They feed you food. I know they don't physically feed you, but go look at any European country, the comparable products from each. Your food is a chemical, addictive, and unnatural conglomerate of flavors and corn syrup. European foods that have the same wrapper are made differently. This is not the American dream. This is not what you dreamt you'd be. I guarantee. That's a good line, isn't it? We're running out of time. I do my part. I do more than my part. I do my part, and then I try and educate, and I try and get through to people. But you need to start allowing yourself to get gotten through too, because we're running out of time. Most of you, well, no, not most of you, because we don't even have a high birth rate anymore. A lot of you have children. You need to realize that even if it doesn't become bad in your lifetime, it will in your children's, because this cannot keep going. Okay, there's so much division between the alleged two sides. This can't keep going. We are completely running out of time, and we are a house divided, and we are about to collapse. And we're being played against each other. And I hope you can see that. I know that you can sense that there's something wrong. I need you to see that we are getting played. This is the biggest scam. And you pay for it. And you blindly and patriotically and naively just keep paying with every check. They take your money. They take your money before you even see it. Okay? They steal your money. That's illegal. Not just like for you and me type of illegal, but the government's not allowed to infringe on your business contracts. That's illegal. And you let them get away with it, don't you?